The famous Greek philosopher's Manual of Life begins by distinguishing between things under our control and those beyond it. It asserts that our actions, opinions, preferences, desires, and aversions are within our control, while external factors like our body, wealth, reputation, and authorities are not. To live a fulfilling life, one must focus on what they can control and disregard what they cannot. Among the greatest challenges one faces are the opinions and judgments of others, which inevitably impact us. However, to avoid being affected, it's crucial to recognize that others' opinions and insults are beyond our control. The manual teaches us how to respond when faced with offense. This video aims to extract wisdom from the Manual of Life to help us attain a mental state where external judgments cannot harm us. By embracing 7 principles from Epictetus's manual, viewers will learn why they shouldn't fret over external opinions and how to achieve a state of mental resilience. If you're new, consider subscribing for more valuable content. Number 1. Epictetus teaches that when we face insults or provocations, it's not the actions themselves that cause harm, but rather our own perception that labels them as offensive. Thus, when someone tries to provoke us, it's essential to recognize that it's our interpretation that disturbs us initially. By refraining from being swayed by appearances and allowing ourselves time to regain composure, we enhance our ability to maintain self-control. One crucial aspect of not being affected by others' opinions is realizing that insults or offenses hold no inherent power to harm us. It's our internal processing of them that causes emotional discomfort. When confronted with belittlement or disrespect, understanding that we empower the insult by reacting negatively can help us maintain perspective. Epictetus suggests that a person's true strength is measured by their capacity to endure negativity without succumbing to it. Much like in Stoicism, where resisting desires only reinforces them, it's about how we manage and respond to stimuli. If we can withstand insults without allowing them to disturb us, we demonstrate resilience and superiority. Despite the common experience of negative comments ruining our mood or week, there's hope in mastering self-control. By watching further, we'll explore additional principles to help navigate such challenges. Number 2 emphasizes the importance of maintaining steadfastness in our pursuits despite the opinions of others. Epictetus illustrates this with the example of aspiring philosophers facing ridicule and mockery from society. He advises preparing oneself for such criticism and remaining resolute in one's chosen path without adopting an arrogant attitude. The key is to stay committed to what contributes to our well-being, regardless of external judgment. Epictetus suggests that those who persevere in their goals eventually earn admiration from those who once ridiculed them. Conversely, yielding to others' opinions leads to double ridicule, as one forfeits their own aspirations. This principle extends beyond philosophy to all aspects of life, where people often abandon their true talents to appease societal expectations. Epictetus warns against allowing fear of judgment to dictate our pursuits, as it results not from failure to try, but from succumbing to external pressure. Instead, he encourages perseverance despite mockery or questioning, as it aligns with our inherent nature. When faced with decisions, it's crucial to prioritize our own convictions and understand the underlying reasons for our choices. Reflecting on this principle can guide us towards living authentically and pursuing what truly matters to us. Number 3 advises against worrying about others speaking ill of us or feeling dishonored by not receiving honors. Epictetus asserts that our worth lies only in things within our control and dependent on our decisions. This advice remains pertinent today, especially in the age of social media, where seeking validation can become toxic. We often compromise our authenticity to gain approval, but it's crucial to question if it's worth sacrificing our emotional well-being for fleeting satisfaction. Dwelling on others' opinions or striving for popularity only leads to inner conflict and tension. Stoicism teaches us to focus solely on what we can control and remain unperturbed by external factors. When faced with insults or criticism, Remember that others' actions stem from their own beliefs, not necessarily objective truth. Instead of allowing their words to harm us, it's more beneficial to maintain patience and recognize that their judgments reflect their own misconceptions. By internalizing this perspective, we cultivate resilience and inner peace amidst external judgments. Number 4 exercise. High control for an insult to turn into an offense. As Epictetus said, we must have the same respect for our mind as we do for our body. I'm sure you wouldn't allow a stranger to enter your house every day knowing the threat that would pose. Yet when we receive an insult and process it as an offense, we allow that person to enter our mind and stay there for a few days, because then we allow strangers into our mind when we would never let them into our homes. To achieve a state where we ignore the negative feelings arising from an offense, discipline and self-control must be accumulated. Apply this to all situations in life, including with family. When you're angry, control that emotion, as it will prevent much unnecessary suffering and make you feel more at ease with yourself. Believe me, this will make a significant change in your life. Number 5. Act according to your best judgment. We shouldn't be ashamed of being seen, acting according to our principles, even if others may form a wrong idea of what we're doing. If we're acting correctly, why fear others' wrong judgment? This also applies to the use of social media, where we often allow our happiness to depend on popularity or validation from others. This leads us to act to please them instead of following our own path. Number 6. Don't worry if someone speaks ill of you, if someone harms you or speaks ill of you. Remember that they act assuming they are right to do so, but it's not possible to think that everyone would act according to what seems right to you, but not to them. Therefore, if they are judging from a false appearance, it's them who harm themselves with their mistake. Based on these principles, tolerate the person who judges you with patience, and on each of these occasions, tell yourself, number 7, no one can hurt you. Through this 7th principle, we analyze the motivation of the sender of the insult, and what it tells us is that we can't expect everyone to act according to what you consider right or according to your worldview. This way of thinking can be very harmful. We should consider the following reflection. Is it really viable to believe that everyone has the same worldview as you? Thinking like this is quite naive. Therefore, if someone insults you believing they know the truth about you, deeply consider the following. You know who you are, you know what you think, you know why you act and why you do what you do. The only knower of the truth about you is yourself. So, in the case of a stranger insulting you in some way, you must ask yourself the following. Did I act wrongly? If the answer is no, ask yourself, can I enter their mind and understand the reason for the insult? It's evident that you can't, therefore, in the case of having acted correctly and facing ignorance about the motivation of the insult, you should be content, as you are the person in the world who knows yourself best. In the case of having acted correctly, you shouldn't carry the burden of regret, as Epictetus said regarding the person who insults you. That's how it seemed to them to conclude. I would like to end with the following lesson from Epictetus. How much long do you think you'll delay becoming worthy of the highest progress and following the teachings of reason? You have already received the philosophical principles with which you should be familiar. What other master are you waiting for to begin improving? You are no longer a teenager but an adult. So if you continue neglectful, lazy, and constantly postponing things, adding excuse after excuse and putting off the day you will dedicate to yourself, life will pass by while you remain ignorant until the day of your death. What did you think of the video? Let me know your opinion in the comments. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to embark with us on the paths of wisdom. Goodbye.